Mm. Hello.
Hello, sorry for the late start. We got it all figured out. All right. Well, let's go ahead and jump in since we're a little late, and I'll just want to let you know that this uh we'll go over a few things, but this is mostly for questions that you guys might have going forward. I know you guys are off to a really great start. We're ahead from where we were last year. By almost 1,000, I believe, and that's fantastic. And we're trying to get back to beat what we were before COVID. So I'm fairly optimistic that we will make that goal. And then the other goal, of course, is to get as many teachers. I've every time I've done membership as a chair for Torrance Council, my goal has always been 100% of our teachers in TUSD to be members. I know that is a huge goal, a huge reach, but it's always something to kind of reach for because we want our teachers to be part of PTA. So, with that said, I think the biggest thing that I want to reiterate is that membership should be turned in each month, because uh, those items or those memberships that have not been purchased through Totem. Totem automatically sends the $6 up through channels, but anything that's purchased on other web stores or through cash, check, or charge, the unit needs to send or remit the $6 per member to the Torrance Council PTA's executive board meeting. So I noticed a few of you for the September executive board meeting, a few of the units didn't turn in regular old school memberships. I do understand that some of you are only doing Totem and will not be using membership envelopes or doing it the old school way. And I totally get that. And that would be, I 2 schools have let me know, but if you're doing it that way, just let me know. And then I won't keep hounding you about it. And then, so that those have to be turned in. We would like them at the executive board meeting so that we can do our turnaround and get the check written to 33rd district, and then it goes on up the chain. So we would rather you not sit on memberships, even if it's 1 or 2 or 3. Turn in memberships each month. Your president gets a checklist. I think that the treasurer is included on that checklist, but the president and the treasurer are the ones that write out the check, sign the check, and get it turned in at the executive board meeting. But it would be great if you guys could kind of keep an eye on that. I think that was the biggest thing. So I would love to entertain your questions or concerns or whatever's going on at your schools.
I have a question for the group.
Okay.
Um, I'm from West High, and we've been having trouble with our PTEZ web store. A number of people are getting money like instantly refunded, so they can't purchase memberships through the web store. Is anyone else having that problem? I think it may be a PayPal problem.
Hmm. I haven't heard
No,
any of
no one
that
else.
brought up. It's probably something that I can bring up with the TCPTA treasurer, Shani Asato, because she uh, works with PTEZ quite a lot, um, because Torrance Council uses it as well, and she might be able to help you out. So
Okay, our treasurer has been working on it. As of last Thursday, it hadn't been resolved. I haven't heard anything since
okay,
then. So
was that your treasurer working with Shani?
our treasurer's been working with PTEZ and with PayPal.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. And they haven't been able to resolve it. So if somebody goes to buy a membership on your PTEZ store, they get through the process, but it's refunded to them? Wow. Hmm.
It's also affecting like our senior wear because we're trying to use the web store for that. So for the memberships, we're directing people to use Totem instead.
Okay,
But it's not helping with the other thing. So
right.
one poor person tried 17 times
Oh my
to purchase
goodness.
something and it kept getting refunded. And
Yeah,
so,
that's the first I've
so
heard of.
no one else is having that problem. Okay, good to know. Thank
No,
you.
not that I've heard from our school at North.
Right. Thank you.
And I had a question regarding donations that go through Totem. If we know what dollar amount or what percentage, if any, if Totem takes from that in addition to the membership fees
So,
or separate.
right. So at the end of the transaction, it shows exactly how much is being taken from the donation. So I want to say it's 3%, 2% or 3%.
I think it's 5%.
Is it 5?
Yeah,
You know what, Katie? You might be right. Yeah, I think it's 5% from the donation, and they add $1 for membership. And that's how they take care of their end of everything. But it's all laid out before the potential member hits complete. So once they see their final total, it's all laid out there, so they can go ahead and decline if they'd rather not have part of their donation taken. Does that make sense?
I have a question. So I remember a couple years ago, there was, I'll just call it like a membership share cheat sheet for different dates that we needed to turn in either numbers or different paperwork in order to get recognized for, I don't know, like awards for the school. And I've looked at the TCPTA website and I don't see anything like that. 'Cause I think there's one for like 100% teacher participation, but I can't find where like the date was for that. Is there
Yeah.
any
So
link for?
we have done away with that program because a lot of PTA presidents were telling us it was too stressful to deal with all of the minutia of things that maybe in some cases weren't as important to some presidents, and they just wanted to focus on what they needed to do, and it was like freezing up people because they see this big huge list of things that they need to do, and they were just like, holy crap. So we kind of did away with that, but I will tell you that California State PTA, which is the state, and then the level underneath, which is 33rd District, and myself, Torrance Council, usually have incentive plans or little, like there's a 33rd District has a traveling trophy. And we have to do specific things to get little points. But like giving me your goal and your theme. But 33rd District is a little behind on that. They're having a few issues getting that out. And California State PTA just put it up on their website. So my plan is, after we're done here, is to let you guys know how those work. I will be keeping track of 100% teacher. I will send you the forms. I will let you know the dates and all of that stuff. It's just been kind of a lag for some reason on these little contests. But overall, Torrance Council does not do the, it used to be called honor roll. We don't do that anymore. You do have to turn in paperwork. Membership chairs do not have to turn in membership lists anymore. And that reason is because our votes are done by a delegate system. So we don't need to know all of your members at Torrance Council and make sure that they can vote like you should be doing at your association meetings. You should have a up-to-date membership list at your units association meeting. And if there's a contested vote, you have to make sure everybody is a member that's voting. But At the Torrance Council level, we do it by delegates, and your parliamentarians are working on getting me delegate names. So we do not require you to give us your membership lists anymore, but we absolutely want you to keep them up to date because they will be used in the process of the nominating committee, nominating folks to be on your board next year. And they have to make sure that those folks are members. So you do need to keep track of that. And if you're, of course, if you're doing any contests or things like that, you want to have spreadsheets or whatever. So, and manually adding them onto Totem is great. But we always come up with that issue of not always having email addresses. So my suggestion is just to do a separate spreadsheet so that you have the email addresses, and you can design it however you want to keep track of whatever class contests that you have, if you're having them. Does that answer your question?
It does. I have one
Okay.
question piggybacking off of the 100% teacher goal that we have. So when you say teachers,
Credential.
there's like so many divisions. Do you just mean like the head teachers
The
or
100, the 100% teacher means the credentialed teachers. That's for that specific contest. I don't have anything that like includes staff and you know, all of the aides and all of that stuff, but that would be great too. Whatever you can do, and you know, that's great. But the list that you will turn in for 100% teacher contest will be credentialed teachers. Perfect. Is there any other questions or concerns or wonderful things that are happening at your school? If Anz is on here, I want to know how you guys got 499 members. I don't know if Anz is on here or not, but I'm amazed. And I'd like to know how it got done.
Hi, did you say Anza?
Yes,
Sorry, what was your question?
I wanted to know how you guys already have 499 members on Totem.
Actually, we have 500 because we got one paper form. I don't know how that person
Oh.
managed to get a paper form when we're trying to make everything. So we have a Dole Whip contest going on.
A what?
I found out
A
that
Dole
Dole Whip.
Whip?
Yes, so there's Dole Whip is actually nutrition compliant. I found out it is under 100
Awesome.
calories. So we have an incentive for the highest participation percentage classroom to get a Dole Whip party, and then the other classes that reach 100% will get obstacle party. And so that just got
Fantastic.
a lot of excited.
Wow,
And we have
that's
raffles. We're
amazing.
raffling off. Yeah, we're raffling off some gift cards. So the kids are families are all very excited.
Nice. That's good to hear. I'm gonna.
What is the dollar amount of gift cards that can be raffled?
If they're donated, they should be like $10, $15. If parents donate them, you as a PTA can purchase gift cards, but they need to be like $5. They need to be minimal, and they can only be used as student incentives.
Okay. Thank you.
But if you get parents to donate, if you put out like a Sign Up Genius and say we need this many gift cards, I know West does that for teacher appreciation. Sometimes they'll send out, we would like to give our teachers, but you know, and ask parents to donate, and that's a good way to get them, but we still keep them minimal.
You say they can only use the student incentives. What do you mean by that?
So say your teacher gives out paw prints for being a good kid, and the paw print gets pulled on the blacktop, and the kid gets a prize. That's what that is. That's a student incentive for being good.
And is there a limit on how many gift cards a month you can give, or is it just?
Well, I would work it out with your principal.
Okay.
Some PTAs work with the principals on incentive programs, and help in that way. So it really depends on on the principal and on your budget, and things like that. So, Sharmi, did that answer your question?
I guess so. It spawns another question. So are we allowed to do a raffle for donations? Like if a prize was donated, like Disney tickets,
Uh-huh.
parent is offering to donate Disney tickets to do a raffle.
Yes, but you have to make sure that your raffle has been registered with the Department of Justice.
Right, we are registering our raffle with the Department of Justice.
Perfect.
But that's allowed to do that for those who,
If
for
somebody
families.
donates, yeah,
Yes. Okay.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else? I see in the chat, I haven't been paying attention. Oh, okay, that's attendance. Perfect. Anything else that is, anybody else have any other great ideas or want to let us know how your membership campaign is going?
Another question.
Yeah.
When do you typically, I'm trying to remember when you usually have the council solicited memberships.
Okay,
It's in the
that will
spring?
be, well, some of it has already started, but I will be sending, so this year we have done something different. And it's called the community membership. So we did a flyer, and we're going to be sending it out to all of the community. So those folks that join all 30 schools usually have to pay almost $200 to join all 30 schools. So we came up with a special price, and just to give those folks a break. Some people only join the schools that their kiddos went to and all of that, and that's fine. So that council solicited, but there's also community membership. The difference between the two is that your unit's not going to get the $4 for the community memberships. So the people that join all 30 schools are getting a break, but we still have to pay through channels. So we still have to pay the $6 up through channels. And with the way the price for the community membership works out, units do not get the $4 back. But if somebody from the community joins, and several people have already joins just the high schools, then you will get the $4 back. So we've already started that. Hopefully in November, your unit might get a check and a list of names, and we'll let you know. You can add those names to your members, all of them, even the community membership ones. So you'll get credit for having, a great membership number, but you won't be getting the $4 from that community membership, if that makes sense. We explained it to at the association meeting before the vote, so that we just wanted to make it clear to the units about that. But I noticed that I think we have 7 folks that have already done the community membership, and I haven't even mailed it out yet. So the email hopefully will go out next week. That's my plan. And then we'll be keeping track of community memberships and council solicited memberships. And then we'll get you the list of names and get you a check. Sound good?
Thank you.
All right. I did want just to remind folks that if you need more hard copy cards, I have a few more, and I hope if I need to, I can get more from 33rd District. So let me know if you need more hard copy cards. But the cool thing is that if you're manually uploading those folks that pay cash, check, charge, or other means, if you put them in to Totem with an email address, a digital card will be made for them. They'll get an email that gives them a link to get their digital card. And also just reminding that folks that join through Totem, they get a digital card that they can put on their phone, in their iPhone wallet or whatever. So there is that as well. Has anybody had any problems with manually uploading or issues with Totem that you want to bring to my attention?
Not an
You know?
issue or anything like that. My president and I have opted to keep it separated, the cash ones versus the totem ones.
Okay.
But if for whatever reason, say we ran out of the cards and we choose to do the manual input, once it's in totem, is there a way to keep them, is it separated or is it just all one list then?
Oh, that's a
I
good
think it's
question.
all one list because
I
I've ran
believe
these
it is.
reports. And you can just, it'll show how they were entered. If you entered them manually, you should maybe just be able to cut those onto like another spreadsheet or something. But everything would be
Okay.
in totem that you put in there.
Yeah, so it's
Okay.
all one list, and then I think there's a column that says how they were entered.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And then the one other question I had, my president sent me, it's called the totem membership training and contest announced by, I guess, the membership roadmap from the 33rd district.
That's California State PTA. I think
Okay.
33rd district sent it out.
Okay. Is that something that we were doing, or is that what we were talking about earlier, that it was just too stressful for everybody?
No,
Or
that is something that I was going to send an email out about, just to kind of clarify what that's all about. It's nothing that you're required to do. But I just don't know if 33rd district is going to require us to do it for their contest. Does that make sense? Sometimes
Yes.
points are given if you do what on the CAPTA roadmap. That is different from our honor roll that we used to do a few years back.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll try to parse it all out and be as descriptive as I can in the upcoming email.
Okay, because the one that I'm not sure about, because I wasn't part of this PTA for the 1920, like what their numbers were. So I don't know like if what we're trying to get to pre-pandemic. So I don't know if
Okay.
there's a way we could figure out those numbers.
I have all of those numbers, and that was going to be part of my email as well.
Okay, sounds
For
great.
each school?
Yep, I have it for
Okay.
each school, what you were in 1819, and then I have the past 5. Well, I have probably the past 10 years. So there is a contest called Best of 5. So if you beat your best number in the past 5 years, that's another little prize. We're just trying to figure out prizes and how we're going to score everything. So that's something that I could ask you guys. What kinds of things for your units would you like? Because PTA store has banners, they have yard signs that say PTA meeting tonight or join PTA. They have like buttons and that says I join PTA. That might be fun for the kids. I know high schoolers are not going to wear a button that says I join PTA. I get that.
For sure. For sure.
But pardon?
Oh no, I said for sure. Yeah, that's not
Yeah.
happening in high school.
So I kind of wanted to know what kind of incentives would like just get you guys hyped up to, kind of push the limits and see how we can make goals. I don't want lame prizes and you guys are going to be like, what? Whatever. What would fire you guys up? Probably a spa day, right?
Yeah. I think like for high school, banners are also maybe what are those like 10 by 10, not tents, but the shade 10 by 10 shade things, just for when we're doing like events outside or
that's a good idea.
promoting and just having some shade would be nice.
Okay. And then we could maybe get it personalized.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. I'll check into that. Thanks, Desiree.
Cool. Welcome.
Anything else, guys? Maybe a Dole Whip party. Sounds like that worked.
I do have a question, actually.
Yeah, go ahead, Katie.
So once this initial membership drive is done for all of us, I feel like there really isn't, or at least I'm not aware of other drives that happen throughout the school year. So I'm curious what other schools do to continue to support membership and, you know, advertise it and try to continue to get new members throughout the school year, aside from the first 2 months.
Well, I think, and other people can speak up, but for me, doing a mid-year push, so like after the holidays, sometimes even before the holidays, kind of use it as like grandparents, you know, having kids reach out to people that live in other states that would like to support their grandson or granddaughter, or that's worked in some areas, you know, because you can use Totem and it, you know, you can have kiddos reach out. I did that with my parents, and they supported from Illinois. They supported West. So coming up with some sort of contest mid-year, maybe sometimes having a contest to try and get more men on PTA or to join PTA. You can do, you know, some people have done it around the Final Four for in March for basketball, and kind of done it that way. If you have a big event coming up, I suggested in the past, if teachers are willing to give up their parking spots for that night, you can raffle off prime parking spots to folks that join PTA, you know, just things like that. But I usually say a mid-year push after the holidays, coming back and just, you know, coming up with something. Does anybody else have any ideas? Go ahead, Jenny.
Yeah, so at Edison, Carissa Baumhart, our president last year, she, like, whenever we have a family event, the PTA kids would get, or family would get popcorn. So it was kind of like, oh, do you want popcorn and join PTA? You know, like there was kind of a small price. And any events that did cost some money, they got a discount for PTA. So it was almost like, get a discount and join, might as well join, you know. So because we reached 100% last year from just kind of like that. Like it was kind of like the discount made sense to just join anyway. So
that's a great idea. I know for high schools, the biggest push is going to be for the scholarship, the eligibility for all of the scholarships. So if you haven't started working with your college and career counselor, because at the high schools, if the student is a PTA member, not the parents, but the student is a PTA member, they only have to fill out one application and it gets sent in, and then they're eligible for scholarships at their elementary school, at their middle school, at their high school that they attended, as well as Torrance Council of PTAs. And then there's also the ability to get California State PTA scholarships as well. One application for middle, high school, and elementary school that they went to, and Torrance Council, and then there's a different application through California State PTA for graduating seniors. And doing that gets a lot of folks, or a lot of kiddos, seniors signed up. And it's also a good way to maybe get the juniors as well, and you know, help with that scholarship piece. And it's usually pretty good, you know, pretty good little scholarship.
So question,
yes.
So I'm new. I'm learning that so the taller membership, 6 of it goes, we get to keep 4.
Correct.
Okay. So what I'm wondering is, if a family wants to like, let's say a family of 4, so they have the 2 parents join. For the kids, like, would it make more sense for them to be members, or for it to be a straight donation? You were mentioning that they also take a cut from the donation as well.
Yeah, if they do a donation through Totem takes a cut. So they could join and then just do a cash or check donation. Does that make sense?
Yes, and then we get to keep 100%, like the school itself.
Yes.
Okay.
Of the donation. Yeah.
So then would it make more sense to encourage families to donate or to sign up their kids? Like, because if it's like $10, sign up my kid, or $10 membership, but I only keep 4. Like, I don't know. And I'm hearing this contest that I didn't know about. So like, is the incentive better to win this contest or to have more funds for your own school? I don't know.
That's a hard one. I think you guys would have to, talk amongst your board and see what is important. I mean, yes, the donations are important to support the students and field trips and art and all of that thing. And I think probably parents would see it that way. So the parents would join the PTA and then they do a donation and support the programs that their kiddos are going to be able to take advantage of.
Thank
Of
you.
course, you always want as many members as you can get. So,
Yeah. Okay.
it would be great if both parents signed up.
And that's because you said there was a contest?
Well, so there's different incentive contests from California State PTA, 33rd District PTA, and Torrance Council PTAs. I will be sending out as soon as I get all the different contests information, levels, prizes, all of that stuff. I will do a very comprehensive email and send it all out to you guys on what I need, how many points it all is. I would really love, Jan, our Torrance Council president, is very competitive. And when I was Torrance Council president, we were lucky enough to bring home the great big trophy. I would like to bring it home again as the membership chair. So the membership chair for me when I was president worked her tail off, and we were ended up, getting it done. She had little gifties and little prizes and all of that stuff. So I just want to kind of match that. So
and then
so I'll be letting you guys know.
And then I wasn't on this email, like I got forwarded. So how can we make sure we're on the email that you're going to send out?
Did you check your spam?
Okay, I'll check.
Because it comes from a Google group. So sometimes it gets thrown into spam.
Okay, I'll check right now. Thank
Jenny,
you.
your name looks very familiar to me.
Oh, okay.
So I think I did add you. So check your spam, and if not, then email me and let me know, and I'll find out what's going on. Somebody did ask what are the amounts of the scholarships, and that depends on how much money your school raises for scholarships. Sometimes they have fundraisers for scholarships. I've seen them anywhere 500 to 750. It just depends on how they do on their fundraiser for scholarships, or what money they've set aside in their budget for scholarships. That's probably already in your budgets. So I would check and see.
I know somebody mentioned earlier about there was a family that donated tickets and being something to be registered with the Department of Justice.
Yes.
Is that anything that we raffle off at the school as like a prize or incentive, or
Yes.
is that just because of the dollar amount?
No, anything that is raffled. Some people still think of the myth that if you say it's an opportunity drawing, that it doesn't need to be registered. That is untrue. We've researched it 100 times. So everything just needs to be, there is a form in the Department of Justice, raffle registration form, and then at the end of the year, you have to do a report. We ask that everybody register and talk about, they'll ask what raffles you're going to do, and you can be vague and let them know. And even though you don't have to hold it if you register. Does that make sense? So register if you think you're going to be having any sort of raffle, no matter what dollar amount, register. And then if nothing happens, then on the final report, you can say did not hold the raffle.
Okay, and then I would assume if you do hold the raffle and at the end of the year, the report, they're just looking for what the dollar amount was that was
Yeah.
raffled?
Yeah.
Okay,
I think the cost is something like $30 to register, so there is a cost with it.
Yeah, it's $25, so and that should be already in your budgets.
So our treasurer just looked into it recently.
Okay.
How early do you have to register for that?
You should be doing it now. It should have been done, I think, September. Yeah, so now, yeah. That's usually one of the things that we have you guys do at the beginning of the year.
It's for a calendar year though, right?
Hmm.
Is it when you register? I thought it was for good for a calendar year. So if you were to do it, let's see, you have to register 60 days prior to the raffle.
Yeah, that's what was coming to my mind. It was 60 days prior. We try
And
to tell you all to do it as soon as possible.
is it good for the school year or the calendar year?
I believe it's the calendar year.
That's what we were thinking. So we were
Yes.
gonna wait into the raffle in 2024.
As long as your raffle is held, as long as your paperwork is in 60 days, because now it's online, I believe, and I think it goes through pretty quickly. As long as you got the paperwork in 60 days before your raffle takes place, you can hold it. But you just have to do another, you have to do another one. I can talk to our Torrance Council treasurer and the parliamentarian. I'm the parliamentarian this year, but I just want to clarify. And
Yeah,
I
that's
can,
what we were finding is that you just have to register 60 days prior.
yeah, just 60
And I
days
think
prior.
the
is what I
cost is
thought.
$30 now.
Okay. It used to be 25 back in the day.
Is that per raffle or is it just like a blanket?
No,
We're gonna raffle things.
It's the blanket. We're gonna raffle things.
Okay.
Yeah, it just covers you. It just covers you for the year. All right. Is there any other questions? So another question that I wanted to ask you guys is I wanted to know if you felt supported at the beginning of your term, if you felt that you, if there was something that I can do better to get you guys prepared for what is involved in your role as membership chair. Do you feel that you need to be trained earlier? Do you feel that that maybe when you were approached, people didn't necessarily give you all of the job responsibilities? Is there a way that we can better prepare you? Because I know for you guys, it was a little bit of summer work. And I remember when I became membership chair, that was kind of one of the things that was like, oh, hold on, wait a minute. I didn't know that I needed to be checking my email because stuff was coming out in August or even July. So I would really like your feedback because I want to make sure that Torrance Council is really looking at improving the way that we can support our units. So any feedback would be greatly appreciated.
So this is Desiree from North, probably just that part. I wasn't looking at email in August. I thought things were gonna start a little closer to school registration. I didn't realize they would come like August 1st, like right around that time. So I wasn't prepared for some of the things that were being asked for initially.
Okay. I remember when I was membership chair and president at West, the secretary was asking me even before school was out for the flyers, any links, membership envelopes, all of that, so she could prepare for Coalition Day. And then when we went digital, she still wanted that stuff because she put it up on PowerSchool because she didn't want to be bothered with it over the summer. So it depends on your secretary as well. So, but yeah, I'll definitely put that down so that we can make sure to prepare you guys
Or
to-
maybe I think we do a meeting or a training in May. Maybe if we had some of those things
in
readily
May.
available at that first initial training
Okay,
would help.
yep, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, because then, you know, then you guys aren't getting bombarded with stuff and you're up in Yosemite and can't, you know, can't get a email or Wi-Fi or anything like that. So yeah, we don't want to interrupt your vacations. So anything else that we can do better?
I have a question for the other membership chairs in regards
Go ahead.
to sorting through Totem. So a couple of years ago, and I brought this up with you, Michelle, already, but I was just curious if
Mhm.
anyone else is experiencing this. A couple of years ago, I, emailed all the teachers, their students, and there were so many students that weren't updated from the previous year. So I was sending them to their school teacher from the grade before, which made me realize that there's a parent error, at least, going on, where when they purchase their memberships, they aren't scrolling down to update their students' new grade level and teacher, because we also have like a popsicle party, and that's how I link them. So I end up spending hours upon hours upon hours going through every individual account, making sure that it's updated with their new teacher, only because I feel like if they want the popsicle party and they're getting a membership, that is my duty to do so. Probably putting in too much time. But so I'm just curious how y'all kind of work with the parent error when they're not updating their student information. Like, for example, we had like 100 in memberships come in, I think July and August. They didn't know their teachers at the time, and so they kind of just forget about it. And then that's where then I'm spending time reaching out to each family saying, hey, could you go in and update your families? So I'm just curious if anyone's found a way to shortcut that issue, or if they're experiencing it at all.
I'm with Anta. We get a class list from our administrative assistant every year, maybe after like the second week of school is over and all the classes are set. She gives us, it's just the first name, last name, and then the name of the teacher. And I use that instead of Totem, because I did see that a lot this year, that parents didn't update their child's information. And it was outdated by even a couple in some cases. So I just cross-check it with that, and then any parents that didn't even put a name in there, I just had to email them myself to see which kids they have.
Okay, so it's a school roster that you're getting a hold of.
Yes, I get it from
Okay.
I usually wait about 2 weeks because they're still kind of moving kids around the first couple of weeks.
Mhm.
They're
Yeah.
always really good at getting me a list of all the kids in the school.
Okay.
And I do want to let you guys
Awesome.
know that I have talked to Totem about that problem that Katie had brought up with me, and they're going to look into a prompt that will pop up and say, and remind them to update their teacher and their child's all of, grade level and all that stuff. So I'm hoping that that will be an improvement for Totem. Well, it is almost 7 o'clock. Does anybody have any other questions or concerns or anything at all? All right. Oh, and the evaluation form is up in the chat. I would love you guys just to, I know it was a simple Q&A, but if you feel like you want to give some feedback, that would be great. If you think of something that, like I said, if you think something that I can do better to help support you guys, you can put that in there. So in between, Jenny, in between, you just reach out to me. I'm your president and board also has a mentor, but if it's membership related, you can reach directly out to me at membership torrancecouncilptas.org. And I will answer whatever I can, and what I can't, I will find out and make sure I get it to you. So we have training 4 times a year, right, Amanda? I believe it's 4 times a year or 3
I know it'd
times a
be
year.
3 because I think it's fall, winter, and then like, yeah, see, almost says 3.
Yeah, 3 times.
Yeah, fall,
Yeah,
winter,
that's right.
and spring.
Yeah. So we will, we usually send out the flyer to your presidents, ask them to forward it. You can follow us on social media. We're on Instagram and Facebook. If you go to our website, torrancecouncilofptas.org, you will see past trainings. Even during COVID times, we have videos. There's lots of really good information. There's forms, there's all kinds of things on that website. Our webmaster's amazing. So it's kept up to date. So that is a very good place to go. California State PTA, capta.org is another great place to go for information and good theme ideas. They have short videos that you can use to help explain, why join PTA. I sent out 2 flyers that you're more than welcome to use that were pretty generic. Why join PTA? One has the community membership on it, the other doesn't. For those that maybe didn't receive it, I will resend it. So in the next few days, let me ask this question. Do you like getting really long emails, or do you like getting maybe several emails over 2 weeks? What would you guys say? Because we're finding that our longer emails maybe don't get read all the way through. And we try really hard to not bombard you guys, but at the beginning of the year, I understand that it is crazy trying to get all the information out. So what would you guys say? Several emails or one long one?
Hi, this is Yeli from Hickory. This is my first year doing the memberships. So everything is kind of like I'm in that learning stage. And so far, my PTA board members, previous membership chair and current president and past president are very helpful in, guiding me and letting me know what I need to do as far. But to answer your question, I would feel like several emails maybe would be okay.
Okay, thanks, Yeli. I was their mentor last year too, so I know Sunny and
yes,
yeah, so they'll be great help. But okay, that's good to hear. What do you?
Yes,
what,
but I
else?
like also the fact that if I ever had any questions that kind of go beyond them, it would be good to reach out to you as well.
Yes. I think I've done every position except for financial. They keep me away from the numbers. All right, guys, we are at 7 o'clock. I don't want to keep you any longer than what we said. And I really appreciate you guys taking the time out. And I'm glad that we had lots of questions. And please don't ever hesitate to reach out to me. I'm kind of a night owl, so you can text me or email me or whatever. I usually get back pretty quick. So my phone is never far away from me. So with that said, you guys are free to go. And if you think of something later on, just drop me a line.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I said thank you. Thank you, Michelle.
Oh, you're welcome. Yep.